The mythmaker's guide to the galaxy, roaming space but tied in a fantasy. The whole tapestry unfolds gradually, untold epics of a Sith and his family. The dark side, Darth Vader, the weapon of the Jedi Knight the Lightsaber, R2-D2, Yoda, the Force, all part of the saga. It's Star Wars. A long time ago in a faraway galaxy commences a myth that's immense in its gravity. A space opera, sci-fi fantasy that entered the scene and created a legacy. 1977 with two sun settings when the dark side entered the memory, spawned in a Jedi sworn enemy. So whenever Sith happens, use the Force as the remedy. But Han Solo's in the bar just lounging. They needed a ship and his one is astounding. The bird of prey of the year 2000, aka the Millennium Falcon. They're all aboard with no time to waste as they move to light speed through the hyperspace. But now they're facing a moon that ain't quite what it seems. The Death Star, it's got them in a tractor beam. They slip away and with a couple of scrapes they save the princess and then make their escape. But the getaway had come with a cost because Obi-Wan fought Darth Vader and lost. They take flight and set course with the rebels, delivering the Death Star plans on a double. They analyze and identify the weak part, then attack with precision, blowing up the Death Star. The mythmaker's guide to the galaxy, roaming space but tied in a fantasy. The whole tapestry unfolds gradually, untold epics of a Sith and his family. The dark side, Darth Vader, the weapon of the Jedi Knight the Lightsaber, R2-D2, Yoda, the Force, all part of the saga. It's Star Wars. 1980, right on track, is the year that we got the Empire Strikes Back. They're still unhappy from the rebels' attack, so they're sending out probes to gather where they're at. But meanwhile on the frozen planet that's called Hoth, the young Skywalker has wandered off and he's lost. So Han Solo leaves in haste to go locate his mate and bring him back to base. They nurse him back to peak fitness and smooth Han Solo makes moves on the princess. She ain't impressed and gives Luke a kiss next. Wait, that's his sister, isn't that called incest? Ring the alarm, we're back to the battle. The AT-ATs have landed to attack the rebels. They farewell and disappear when it's over, but Luke's on a mission, he's off to meet Yoda. Out in the Dago bar clearing his force because it's time to learn how to use the Force. While Hans and Leia flee an asteroid belt, Luke sees that they're soon gonna need his help. By the time he arrives, Han's already in carbonite. So Luke's got Darth Vader in sights, but he gets disarmed and adding more to the drama. We learned that Darth Vader's really his father. The mythmaker's guide to the galaxy, roaming space but tied in a fantasy. The whole tapestry unfolds gradually, untold epics of a Sith and his family. The dark side, Darth Vader, the weapon of the Jedi Knight the Lightsaber, R2-D2, Yoda, the Force, all part of the saga. It's Star Wars. It's 83 and we're back from the respite, back in the fight with the return of the Jedi. And there's a few things to eye in this part. For a start, the Empire's got another Death Star, so Luke makes plans to scam Jabba the Hutt. He's gonna free Han Solo when he's got the backup running amok, but now he's gotta combat the Rancor. He wins the battle but Jabba wants an encore. Deep in the desert with the sand-dwelling beast, our heroes escape through the skin off their teeth. They wanna make a rendezvous back with the fleet, and they meet as the Emperor steps back on the scene. They head down to Endor, the moon with the Ewoks, who see 3PO and start believing that he's a god. After a stormtrooper chase on the speeder, the team need to take down the shield generator. Luke then surrenders himself to the Emperor. Deep in the Sith to win over Darth Vader, the ground team make a breakthrough with their plan, so the fleet stormed the Death Star commanded by Lando. Luke decides the dark side won't entice him, so the Emperor strikes with the Force lightning. But Darth Vader kills the Emperor to save him and bring us to the end where they're all celebrating. The mythmaker's guide to the galaxy, roaming space but tied in a fantasy. The whole tapestry unfolds gradually, untold epics of a Sith and his family. The dark side, Darth Vader, the weapon of the Jedi Knight the Lightsaber, R2-D2, Yoda, the Force, all part of the saga. It's Star Wars.